Okay, so I'm gonna type something in the chat here to see if it pops up on the screen like it should. Okay, but it's super tiny. Cool. Good to screen. Excellent. Cool, 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 cool. Working lovely. So I should probably go let everyone know that this is happening. Excellent. I'm also gonna full screen the emulator window and have everything else behind it. Oh, hey, it really doesn't make that big of a difference. Okay, so I can dual screen this. Excellent. This is very fun, guys. But I got it all set up now. Now I'm fancy. I'm fancy like Inkdependence mic, not just using the Google Hangouts thing. Okay, let's post. No, McAfee, I don't want to restart anything. Okay, cool. Aqua's in her box. So while I'm waiting for people to show up, I'm gonna go get my box of stuff. I don't know, where does it say viewers? I don't know. I had done this in like Hangouts before. Okay, that's where it says watching. Found this stuff. Yo, Alex. Okay, I'm gonna go get my Piff stuff. Can you hear me? I just want to make sure the mic's working and everything. I have my Yeti plugged in. Huh, that's funny. I can see you on my emulator screen, but I can't see you on like the YouTube live chat window. Cool, 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 cool. And there is a bit of a delay between when you type something and it has to go through like all the servers and then I see it. So you've probably seen this with Mike on his Friday live streams. Cool. I'm gonna go get my stuff then. I'll probably turn on the light would be a good idea too. It was light out earlier, but you know. So yeah, I've got Atlanta Pen shows next week. So I'm prepping Piff stuff. I aliquoted the soy sauce bottle of Pilot Blue Black yesterday or last night. So I've got 50 mils left. Oop. Because yeah, this is a 350 ml bottle and I have 100 sample vials and they're about 3 mils each because that's one fill of a transfer pipette. And I wasn't being super exact. Like, it would have taken a lot longer to aliquot if I was trying to be super exact because I don't have a pipette man. Well, I might have a pipette man because I think I took one for a cosplay and never returned it. But it's like a P200 and that just is excessive. Excessively small for aliquoting ink. Yeah. If I had like a 5 mil one, that would be nice. But those are expensive and not very common to come across. So let's see. Ye old quart storage bags from Target. Went to Target yesterday. Let's see. So this is all the ink I aliquoted. And yeah, I just shoved it back in. Science skills come in handy. Aqua, what do you want? Aqua's in her box and is apparently liking to chirp along. And yeah, and then today in the mail, I got about a third of the pens that I'm going to be giving away. So we've got 3 boxes of Gin House Shark pens. So they're lovely. Like, I didn't realize how awesome they were. Sorry. Until I opened them. Like, I was like, okay, cool, shark pens. But, you know, but like then I handled them and I'm like, these are kind of awesome. And I might need to get, like, I want a whole box because it was like $15 and that was expedited shipping, or like $15 buying from within the US, so it would get here in time for Atlanta. But then again, I don't need 12 of these. Like, that's a lot. Do not need. But they're cool. And then I also got 100 carts. So most of the notebooks that are coming our way are people are just throwing them. Oh, thank you for, I do like my cuttlefish shirt. Marine biology, yes. But so everyone that I've contacted about notebooks are actually going to be at the show, and instead of like mailing it separately, I'm just going to pick up the pocket notebooks at the show. Like I've got notebooks from Brad. Need to email back Rachel Goulet, so she'll probably just shove them in there with Brian or Drew's suitcase because they're coming to the show. And then Vito from Story Supply was like, yeah, sure, I'm flying down, so just I'll throw in my suitcase. It shouldn't be a lot because he needs to like sell stuff too. But so that I won't get till show, and then I've got 2 more orders of pens coming because like I said, this is 1/3 of the pens. And those should be here early next week. But then I just have to drop a pen in each bag. That's not that hard. Yeah. Oh, Aqua decided to come out of her box. Say hi, Akiva. Say hi. You probably need to poops. She does not need to poop. Well, she probably does, but she's just saving it for the floor and then paper towel. What? She wants to chew her bag. I went to the yarn shop yesterday and they have paper bags, and she loves paper bags. So normally when I go to a yarn shop or buy anything, I use my reusable bag, but the paper bag is a present for Aqua. So she got something from the yarn shop too. There you go. Anyway, so like I said, I've got some leftover Pilot Blue Black that we can aliquot if needed at the table. And I've got a whole nother thing of vials for the table, if we get a table. I've been emailing them and haven't heard jack shit, so who knows. Yeah, it might be a Piff backpack, or some people had said like if you need to split a table, we can. No, the text is over my face. Interesting. Anyway. Well, Aqua will visit no matter what. I've done live streams before. Like, I think I did, what was it, a Bear and Fig unboxing, where Aqua, like, I was in the middle of describing the backpack, and her cage was open. Her cage is, like, right there. And she just, like, flew from her cage because I was ignoring her and just was on my shoulder, was like, hello, I am now part of this. I'm gonna mess with the chat so it's not, like, on top of me. Ooh, look at that slidey thing. There's, like, fanciness going on here. Ooh, and I can make it smaller. Messing with... Okay, so if I move the chat, like, over to the... Is that still on screen for you? If it's over here, like, on the black bars? I can't really tell, because it just automatically made my screen, my webcam, like this block. Or hell, I don't even know if what I'm doing is happening live. It's all fun and games. So wait, it's half on the screen, half off the screen? Okay, that would make sense based off of what I'm seeing on my end. Cool. Okay. Maybe, you know what would be interesting if I were to put my own live up there and see what it looks like. Welcome to, I have in theory done this twice before, but with easy software. Not like the fancy software. Okay, cool. Welcome to, I have in theory done this twice. Oh geez, that was weird. That was lag. You probably heard me talking into my own damn mic. Let's mute the computer so that doesn't happen. Cool. Now this is weird. So I've got myself on like this part of the screen and then also the live stream. Oh, cool. I'm going to fuck with things while you guys are all... I wonder why my computer put those black bars there. No idea. Ooh. That might make things fun. This is fun. Welcome to Sarah Messes with Software Live. Okay, that just makes it smaller. Cool. And then we can make it bigger. Okay, that's fun. You know, good enough. I'm gonna call that done. Anyway, so that way you can see and kind of see the chat, and the chat's not exactly blocking the screen. It makes it a little weird with the contrast. But anyway, I'll mess with it later. Cool. Trying to figure out what to click. Okay, cool. Anyway, Aqua's chewing. You know what I need? I need an alcohol because it is Friday at like 6:30. Okay, so what we've got is Three Taverns Rapturous. It is a raspberry sour from Three Taverns Brewing, which is local to me. They are about maybe 5-minute walk that away. Like, I have hosted things before where I have had friends over and we go to the brewery for tastings, and then everyone parks here, and then we come back and we play board games and sober up and order pizza. And it's a great time. No one has to DD. And I also live right next to a train station, so if people want a Marta, they can do that instead. But so I'm going to pour that. I just got... What you can't see is that about this space on my table doesn't have stuff on it. So... just sprayed myself in the face. Yeah, we've got our handy dandy Pen Addict coaster. Proper glassware for the type of beer. And you can see how red it is. Anyway. Yeah, who knows? Mike is probably still picking out plants. Fun times. So let's see. This is going to be very... Can I like push it back so you can more see what I'm doing? You can't see my face now, but you can more see me assembling packs. This is going to be very exciting, guys. Problem is with doing this on a live stream is the mic is right here, and I would like to put the pens right there. So I'll just have to deal. So yeah, each pack is getting 1 ink cartridge, 1 ink vial, shark pen. Where's the carts? Where did I put the carts? There's the carts. Yeah. So this is a very, very fun chat. In theory, I had meant to do this at 4, but then it was like, oh, you have to mess with the software. To get this chat on the screen was not readily apparent how to do that. Eventually, I found like a step-by-step guide that the software people had up, but it was like buried in a help forum and not like pinned or anything. So that was unhelpful. Yeah, right now I've only got, I've got 3 dozen shark pens. So that's my limit of how many packs I can make right now. I gotta wait for the rest of the pens to get in. And then also Oscar's sending me the PIF postcards to put in there. Yeah, doing this sort of thing systematically, like making packs and stuff, science trains you very well for that. This is the type of thing you do all the time in hard science. Like, making all these vials, I think maybe labeling them took like half an hour. There's 100 of them. And actually aliquoting everything and filling it took like 15 minutes. Because I have developed skills for this. So this probably took like maybe an hour to label and aliquot everything. Oh. So, okay, so the beer is 3 Taverns Rapturous. It is a raspberry sour. And yeah, you can see how red it is. It's from the raspberry. They also make other fruit variants of this sour. What's the other one? They make I forget the name of the other one. Oh, Enchantress. That's a cranberry sour they have that's slightly spiced. That's a little more, like, this is very summer, nice weather out sort of sour, and their cranberry one is very much a little more fall. And then I also have one in the fridge that's from a different Atlanta brewery called Atalanta from Orpheus, and that is a plum saison, but it's way more sour than your typical saison. So it's thrown my parents off multiple times because neither of them actually like sours, but they see saison, and saisons aren't usually that sour. Then they buy it and are like, oh, ugh, and I'm like, well, I'll drink it. Yeah, my mom also has a problem where my mom likes Weiss beers, but she keeps forgetting that Berliner Weisses are sours. It's not just a Weiss, it's a different kind of Weiss beer. So yeah, that's always fun when they come to visit. That's actually why I have the plum saison, the plum sour in my fridge, is because my dad saw it and was like, oh, that sounds amazing. Because that is up his alley if it's a true saison, but it was more of a sour. But yeah, I was feeling fruity beers / that's what I have in the fridge right now. I basically bought those 2 6-packs forever ago and just have slowly been drinking through it. Basically, like, literally 1 a week for BYOB. It's like the one time of the week I drink is BYOB. And then I just don't drink alcohol usually the rest of the week just because I'm like, I don't actually like feeling drunk. Just some of it tastes good. Cool. 1 box down. I almost wish I could have ordered it without the box, because I don't know what I'm going to use this box for now. Maybe to display things? Because I don't think Oscar's sending down the pen stands. Who knows? It's a nice box though, so I'll save it. Maybe someone will want it. I could piff it. Next box. So yeah, if you want to chat about anything, ooh, there's a little star thing over in Slack. Oh, that's not the podcast channel. Oh, I was going to post a Discord, the BYOB Discord that I was doing this to, and I forgot. So I should do that. Discord could take a while to load. My laptop, my desktop doesn't have a webcam, my laptop does. So I do all this on my laptop, but I bought my laptop to be a like word processor / internet browsing machine. It's not, even though it's a couple years newer than my desktop still radically outperforms it because I bought my desktop for performance. So it has to think a bit to load things. Cool. Discord is open and I shall post. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, shall post. Cool. That is posted. Back to this. Excellent. I know this is very, very exciting. And like 2 hours later than normally happens, so people were not expecting this. Dun, 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 dun. I'm very happy in her box now. As soon as like she was just like came out, was like, "What's going on? I hear you talking," and then wanted to chew her paper bag, and now she's back in her box and she's taking a nap. She does. That's what she does. She goes back. She has a cardboard box with a blanket over it, and that's like her nest. And so she goes back and forth between the box. She comes out of the box. She chews paper, and then she tucks the strips of paper into her feathers and takes it back to her box. It's a nesting instinct that she's not very good at because the paper all falls out by the time she gets like a foot. And then she just does that. And especially this time of day, she'll eat her, basically she tends to eat dinner. And then when she eats a lot, she's like, okay, now it's time for a nap because she just stuffed herself. But so it's about her evening nap time. Oh, no, there she goes. She's coming out. Probably because I mentioned her. Hello, Akiwa. She is very obsessed with this paper bag. It is like the best thing ever. I did consider when I was doing the aliquoting last night, when I took them out of the tray that I was using to aliquot, to hold up the vials while I aliquoted, like then just plopping them in the baggies while I was going. But then I was like, this is actually not a very fluid motion, and this is a much better idea what I'm doing now because it's almost very assembly line. And the bags, I guess you could stick them up in a rack, so you could just go boom, 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 boom. It's not that big of a difference. Okay, another box done. So we got the last box, and then I'm out of pens to put into kits. And then I'll have to wait until next week. But yeah, I'm excited. So when I ordered this, it was just like, so for the PIF kits, we don't, like, we want to keep it inexpensive. Like, we do get a lot of donations, but like we don't run out of specific things. Like, we'll often run out of ink files or pocket notebooks, especially. We always are running out of pocket notebooks. So yeah, but like cheap pens, so we wanted to keep it to like less than $3 a kit, which largely means ordering lots of Jinhaos from China. But because we had, ordered this when I had about 2 weeks till the show. That's not enough time for things you order from China to get here. So I had to hunt down on eBay some... It was slightly more expensive for the same pens, but they would actually get here in time. But yeah, so we like to have a cartridge, an ink vial, pocket notebook, and a pen in each pack. Because it's a starter kit. And like, the good thing about like Jinhaos and stuff is they all come with converters, which is really nice. But like these are specifically for newbies, and so they're probably intimidated by converters, and that's why we like to include a cart. But yeah, I'm glad the cartridges got here at the same time, because I ordered those a little later. Because, what was it? All the Hobbies found good, cheap cart link. / I thought we had a lot more left over from Baltimore than we actually did. So I was just expecting those to come in a packet from Oscar, but he was like, nope. We were out of converters. We were cleaned out of everything except like 2 rolls of washi tape. It's like, well then, gotta order everything. And yeah, shout out to Knox, Story Supply, and the Goulets for totally being willing and able to donate stuff. And Field Notes too, but we thought about it, and we are also having the time crunch with with the Chicago show to get supplies. So we're gonna actually redirect Field Notes towards doing pocket notebooks for Chicago, which makes sense because they're based in Chicago and love Chicago. And that is the last one. So, yep, didn't even get through. I mean, it was 36 pens, and this had 50 in it, this had 50 in it, so you're not going to work through the whole thing. But yeah, so now I got 3 empty boxes with cards in Chinese that I can't read. So yeah, I'll probably put these out at PIFT as either pen trays or if people want to take them, because they just come with the shark pens. So I got all that done. That did not take nearly as long as I thought it would. Aqua what? Aqua what? What? See, she has feathers in her rump. This one's actually staying in. I'm very proud of you. Secret, she is also... How old are you? You're almost 13 years old. So she's had a lot of practice putting paper in her feathers. It's only in the last couple of years that they've actually stayed there. It took her 10 years of practice to figure out how to do that. What? What? Say hi to the camera. She's like, I don't want to say hi to the camera. There. No. Oh, okay. You're being. Fine, go on my head. Yeah, no, it's speedy, but also, like I said, Michael, where are you going? Be right back. Okay. She needed to poop, so she flew off my head and pooped on the floor, which I do appreciate. Yeah. It's a lot easier to clean up poop off the floor than off my head, unless I'm about to take a shower. But yeah, Aqua's a very independent bird. It's also dinner time. That's what she wanted. She wanted me... She's perfectly capable of flying up and going back in her cage by herself, but she knows if she just chirps at me, I will eventually pick her up and put her up there. So she was being lazy. Yeah. No, if she's mad at me, she'll purposely save her poop to poop on me, which is usually what happens after I get back from, like, vacation or something. And she's like, you have been gone for 3 days. What the hell? So yeah. But yeah, no, putting the kits together, they're like, we do lots of things like assembly line things like that in hard sciences, so it's just I'm real good at things like that. Like when that's why I've said to Oscar for Baltimore, I'm like, dude, like if you're overwhelmed with stuff, just wait till I get there. I'm gonna get there early Friday morning. because that's what my flight is. And I'm very quick at this because I have lots of practice. And yeah, he was like, it was funny watching people struggle to pipette things because I'm like, oh, right. It's a thing people don't normally have the skills to do. Whoops. Let's see. I'm just like checking all the chat channels. Cool. This is fun. But yeah, so got that done. I was gonna make a pom-pom. I do have a pith hat that needs a pom-pom. I was gonna make one while sitting here next, but then I realized that the red yarn is tied up in another pith hat, so I need to finish this one first before I can make pom-poms for both of them. So now I got pom-poms. Now I gotta finish a pith hat. And then I also, let me show this. So what I was getting at the yarn shop yesterday was, this was the only sort of orange-ish yarn, cascade, like cheaper wool that they had. They didn't really have a lot of orange. Orange isn't popular, and I also got a steel gray. So can you guess what kind of hat I'm making out of orange and gray? If you are guessing a pen addict hat, you would be correct. I have talked with Brad because what I want to do is I want to sell these hats. And then so every hat I sell for PIF, half of the cost goes directly to PIF. And then I also have designs ready for pen addict hats and BYOB hat. And I also have designs for, I do have one for Inkdependence Mike that says hates ads on it. You can see it on his Instagram. And so I will make those to order. And I also am gonna have the patterns out. But yeah, but of course I was talking with Brad on it because I wanted to get his permission because it's his IP. And, you know, if like he wanted to discuss any sort of like royalties or licensing or everything, because like if it was one thing I was just like randomly making these and giving them out as gifts, that would be one thing. But because I'm planning on selling them, like that requires blessing. But yeah, anyway, so since I'm gonna see him in Atlanta and it takes me like a day to make these hats, or like it takes like a couple hours, which is fast for knitwear. I'm a fast knitter, but I was like, oh, I can give him a hat in Atlanta. But I already had this on the needles, and these are like my hat needles right now, so I have to finish this one first. But yeah, I actually ran out of the other yellow, or I don't have quite enough to finish one hat, so I went to, this is actually hand spun, that I wasn't gonna do anything with anyway, so I was like, you know what? I'm a little loath to like do hand spun for like giveaways and stuff, but I'm like, this has been sitting there forever and I'm not gonna use it. And so I'm like, pith hats, I would love, like, that's a good use, good home for it. And so, you know, there you go. But so yeah, I gotta finish this one. And yeah, I've actually got a lot of yarn on order. It's on the way to me because Webb's had their anniversary sale. She finished eating and then was chirping at me to come get her as a taxi service, and now she wants to go in her box and take a nap and digest. It's a very, very good system she has. Anyway. But yeah, so actually I have a lot of other colors on order. So especially for pith hats, like if this is not your colorway, the red and gold, I'm gonna have, you'd be able to place an order with me. I ordered a lot of colors. So I ordered, what was it? I have like a turquoise, I have like a lime green, I have a like magenta pink sort of thing. I've got another like calmer orange. I've got more of a maroon also on the way. So you'll be able to get, like, if you want a different color combo on the hat, you'll be able to do an order with the PIF. I don't know with the BYOB ones and the Pen Addict ones if I'm going to offer different colorways, because those have like PIF, like we're like, I know Alex was already like in talks to do like for different like Kickstarter campaigns, do different colorways of like the stuff. So this is the Heart of Gold colorway. It's not the PIF colorway, it's Heart of Gold. So like there's a lot of room within PIF to like get fun with the colors versus like Pen Addict is definitely like a color scheme, and BYOB we have landed on a color scheme that just like we didn't intentionally go that way, it just like happened. But yeah. Oh, and then I also, so sneak preview. So someone in the PIF Slack of all the volunteers pointed out that Heart of Gold abbreviated is HOG, so hog, and there were like, oh, we should have some, like, we should get like a pig holding the PIF logo, and they were like pinged Michael from BYOB Michael, because he does like some graphic design, but like 2D art isn't really his wheelhouse. He does like graphic design is a different thing. It's a different art skill. And I was like, I'm going to start sketching pigs. So I did this. So this is now uploaded to the Pen Addict Slack, or not Pen Addict, PIF Slack, and it's up to Alex and Oscar what they want to do with it, if turn it into t-shirts, stickers, whatever. But yeah, it's a pig. And he's holding the PIF logo. I'm very proud of it. The pig, like I was struggling a bit, but then it was like, oh my, like, just looked at some reference photos. I'm super proud of how this pig turned out. It's adorable. But yeah. Hey everybody. So yeah, I'm just like stupid proud of it, and like it's been a while since I've done an art thing, and so I was messing with different like inking techniques and stuff, and then just went back to what I had been like the skills I developed during Inktober, and it turned out way better than I thought it would, and I'm very happy with it. Actually, the hardest thing was drawing the PIF logo rather than the actual pig. Like once I figured out, like I couldn't remember for the life of me what pigs' ears looked like, so I just like Googled pigs and looked at their ears. And I was like, I know they have hooves, but I don't know exactly how they look. And yeah, no, reference photos are a great thing. But yeah, and it's just, I've been learning a bit about like, okay, how much detail do you put in terms of like line, like fold lines and stuff, and where do you put shading, and like, I don't know, I learn a lot just by like looking at other people's arts on Instagram, especially a lot of comic artists, because there's a difference in like technique that you can do between comics art and like more fine arts. I mean, they're both arts with equally impressive skills, but like how shading is applied and stuff, and like shadows and highlights, it tends to stylistically be different. And so I like the comic arts more as it's more like a pop art. And yeah, but yeah, so the pig is done. I used a Mitsubishi, whatever, it's their blue and red pencils, but I have used up the blue, so now I just got the red. I did that for the initial sketch, and then I used I forget what pencil I used for the sketch, and then the inking is in Sakura Pigma Microns, and then the coloring is in with Faber-Castell watercolor pencils, the Albrecht Dürer, and then I did a combo of doing the coloring on the paper directly and then applying water to blend and mix it, and then I also did some where I like, where's the red? You can see it best. Where I actually like brushed, like took a brush with water on it to the actual core of the pencil to get the pigment off of, and mixed in a tray separately, which results in this to get, especially if I'm mixing colors, it can be, it's a little more controlled that way in terms of like making sure you get a consistent output, because then you have a pool of color versus like when you mix on the page, you're applying the pigment dry, and like, yes, it mixes once you add water, but it can be a little more variable in terms of like how much color might go down, especially if you need to do just like a touch of another color, where like, yes, you're applying very lightly, but like small variants can make a big difference. Like in the ears, you can see that it's a little darker. How I do a lot of the shading is I'll apply a little bit of contrast color to the paint, so it'll make it a little more brown, a little more dark. I credit this to some watercolor tutorial I found on the internet for this technique, but it's just a touch, especially for something like pink, where a little too much can overwhelm it. Or if you're like darkening a yellow, say, the contrast color to that is purple, and that can easily overwhelm the yellow. So like that's when you especially want to do like separate mixing to make sure that like, because if I did that on the page, like it would be like probably end up way too dark, because there's only so much control over that you have. But for a lot of this, I also did pencil directly, because with watercolor pencils, sorry, I bumped my glass. You can dip the tip of the pencil directly in water, and it's basically like painting with a really fine tip. And so for these like yellow sections, that allows me a lot of fine control over detail work. So that's why I did watercolor pencils, because I was like, this is going to allow me kind of the best control over all different ways of coloring, of the color mixing. Slash, when I've done, I knew this would probably be turned into stickers at some point, so I've done colored pencil drawings before, but the way I do watercolor, colored pencil, I keep mixing that up. Here's a good example. So observe Tyranitar. So if you look up real close, you can see that it's more Van Gogh-like, and you can really see the individual brush strokes, which I like as a style for colored pencils, but it doesn't necessarily translate well to like a sticker. Like, this is one of those things where like, if I like had the opportunities to do digital, like if I had the tools to do digital art, like on a tablet and drawing software, and knew how to do that, because that's another different skill, I would probably have done that. For the Piff Hog. But, you know, I don't have those skills. So I did 2D. Sorry. My neighbor has a visitor, so I'm going to close my doors. It's like, look, you British person, like coming at... Yeah, so it was like, oh, look, like just the way my apartment is set up, it's like, and where I'm sitting because of sunlight, it was like direct looking into my apartment, being like, look, a person talking to the internet with the mic. Looks a little crazy to an outsider, but anyway, not outsider, but like stranger. But yeah, no, Alex, you know much more about like, you're much more fluent in like the digital art scape. Yeah, that is, like, I don't really have, because I'm not a huge art person. Like, I do art, but like, I'm not doing it professionally or like in any sort of like more intense capacity. And so I don't therefore feel the need to invest in like a good stylist that has like good touch response and all that. And yeah, I guess you have freeware, but it's like, for like the level of intensity I'm into 2D art and stuff, I'm good with my traditional tools. Plus that's always been the appeal for me more. I mean, of course it is. I'm an analog person, as we can all tell by me doing a pen podcast and having far too many stationary related objects. The obsession goes to art supplies as well. That, like, the art supply closet we had growing up, which was all me, that wasn't my brother, is just like overflowing with, yeah, it's bad. But yeah, so I'm like refreshing to see like, oh, hey, has Mike gotten back from buying plants yet? Should I stop the live stream to like go over to watch him tell us what he did with plants? Because I am genuinely curious. I like plants. Slash, he said that they have another dog staying with them right now, and I'm like, bonus dog? Yes, do a live stream. I'm checking all the things just to make sure. It's hard to check all stream is stream. That would be funny, actually. But no, I don't think he's got anything. Ooh, I've got a lot of notifications on YouTube because a bunch of you subscribe to me. It's due to doing this podcast. I'm clicking on his channel to see. Yeah, no, he's got nothing going. He's busy buying plants. It's very important. But yeah, no, I would imagine in Colorado, you're not even thinking about planting at all. Like, I imagine it's similar to like northern Michigan. So like at the end of the year, my grandma passed, and we actually waited, since she wanted to be cremated anyway, we're like, we're gonna wait to do any sort of service until it is like minimal chance of a blizzard. So we were like, okay, we'll wait till her birthday. Her birthday is in late May. And last year it snowed on her birthday. So like I said, we waited till there's minimal chance of a blizzard. So yeah, I know that feel. Versus down here, Mike and Sandra are in North Carolina, so they're a little more north of me here, but they're also coastal. So yeah, but it's like I haven't had to wear a coat all week. It's like been high 60s maybe. So yeah, it's definitely time to think about planting. Normally around this time I would have seeds going, but like I've been less and less invested in my garden as the years have gone on because I've just had more shit to like deal with. And it's been a case where it's like, oh, I plant this stuff and then I harvest it and then I'm like, I don't know, like it's a vegetable garden. And then I'm like, oh shit, I like, then don't like, I'm like, I planted it, I need to use it, but I don't know how to use it. And it's just been a, like, I've got a planter box that has mint in it. That's great. I like don't have to do anything to that. It just goes because it's mint. But yeah, I don't know if I'll grow anything. Also because they're like, I might move at some point because like I'm looking for jobs because I've graduated, and like a more permanent job situation, I'd be open to move. Like right now I'm doing more part-time gigs just to pay the bills, but you know, I would be open to moving, and my lease is up in June. So I don't want to like plant a whole ass garden and then move in the middle of June. That just seems dumb. So I'm just going to leave it be. And honestly, like I said, it's like, there was a lot of enthusiasm with it like the first couple years I lived here. And then I was just like, this has just become a chore rather than enjoyable. So. Clicking things. I hate how, sidebar, I hate how with Slack, when you like minimize, or not minimize, but like split screen a window, whatever the like API is, like doesn't recognize that you've split screen. So it just like cuts off half the screen and there's no way to like scroll back and forth. It's just like kind of there. So I don't know. I think it's funny. Funny and sad at the same time. But yeah. Maybe there are 6 people watching, supposedly. But yeah. So at this point, I've got knitting. Oh, I can show you also Denise. So a couple weeks ago, Denise, like I was looking for some ink samples, and Denise Ink a Day was like, oh, I have those, I'll send them to you. But then like she has a chronic illness, and so it's like when she doesn't have to like get out of the house and work, it's like working exhausts her, and so she needs like the full like time off to recover, and getting in the post office is not her thing. So it took her a little bit to get the samples to me, but let me see. There's some in the other room. This is what happens when like the best place to like set your laptop to do a live stream is in one spot and all your other stuff for like pen stuff is in the other room. But anyway, so these are some of the samples she sent me. I swapped them last night. So I've got, she sent me a couple purples. Where's the other one? So these are the purples she sent. So it's a good selection of purples. I've got Waterman Tender Purple, Pyroshisuku Murasaki Shikibu, Diamine Bilberry, and Monteverde Chariot. She also sent there we are. Parker Quink Blue Black, which is one of the ones I requested. I requested the Waterman Tender Purple, Parker Quink Blue Black, and Colorverse Quasar. Specifically because with the Tender Purple and the Blue Black, I would have ordered samples, but Venice doesn't have samples of those, so I was very sad. Colorverse Quasar they're just out of. So I was like, as long as I'm asking around. And I also wanted, because I got a sample of Colorverse Supernova at Baltimore. And I'm like, like both of these blues looked real attractive to me in like swaps and stuff on the internet. And I'm like, I like them, but I've been burned enough buying full bottles of ink before trying them, especially when it comes to blues. Like blues, I'm not too hot on. Like I like blues, but I'm not obsessed with blues. So, but I wanted samples so I could try them. But before Atlanta, because I was like, I might want to buy the full bottles in Atlanta because that's always a good time to buy ink. Like for me, because it's my local show, I can throw it in the car. I don't have to worry about like things leaking in transit or whatever because I just throw it in the car. But so I wanted the two of them to compare, and it actually turns out like. I thought I was enticed by this swab of Supernova. Like, I was like, ooh, but then I actually inked it up. And I was like, you know what? Inked up, it's not all that different from a lot of the lighter blues that I already have. And definitely not $35 different. So I was like, you know what? Cool. This is what samples are good for. Quasar, haven't inked it up yet, need to, because Atlanta's next week. It looks really cool. It actually looks a bit like, I have all my stuff organized in my coloring by color. So, in rainbow order. So it looks like KWZ Chicago Blue a bit. And also Diamine Blue Pearl, which is a sparkle ink. So, I need to ink that up and try it. Because, like, when I got the Chicago Blue sample in a Secret Santa, I was like, oh. I'm also Colorverse Quasar, it's super sheeny. So, like, I like sheen, but I almost hope it's not that sheeny in real life, like when I write with it, because I do like the base blue. It would almost be too sheeny for me. Michelle, I have seen comparisons to those same inks online. I don't have those inks. But of Supernova to those inks being very similar. I have seen comparison swabs, and I would agree based off what I've seen. I mean, I like the gold sheen, but like, there are some inks where I don't want the sheen. Like there's some inks where I actually like the base color and want to see the base color. This I've seen actually compared a little bit to Organic Studio Nitrogen, just not as super sheen monsters, so better behaved. Like, you can actually see the base color in this. The base color is not sheen. Yeah, I did not hop on the Organic Studio Sheen Monster train. Because I was like, not sure. But yeah, so, the other two inks that she sent that were a surprise, which I was thrilled about because I had wanted samples of these. Like, just in general, they were on my sample wish list, but I hadn't, like, sought them out. So, Bung Box Sweet Potato Purple and Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diamine Hondel, which is part of the music set. And Diam And because it's part of the music set, it's a little harder to like find samples of. And I think I saw this in one of the Inkdependence Friday live streams and went, ooh. But yeah, sweet potato purple is really lovely. And it's actually reminds me a lot of, oh damn, I need to get the other coloring. But for now, it actually reminds me quite a bit of hippo purple. So those of you that are now getting your hippo notos will be getting now the hippo purple. I ordered cream because I like cream paper, so I've had mine since like October. I apologize. Let me go get the other coloring. Yeah, sorry, I have like they're split in half based on alphabetical or based on color order. But so it's also fairly close to Noodler's Black Swan and English Roses. And that's probably the closest. And it's fairly close to Colorverse Dark Energy as well, but I think it's probably closest to Hippo Purple. Dark Energy is actually kind of similar-ish to the Diamine Handel. They both got the same sort of greenish sheen, but the Handel leans more purple, and the sheen is it's a much stronger green sheen. Don't know how well the sheen is coming. I always get confused by the mirroring. So I don't know if you can see that sheen. Like, I swabbed these at night, and it looked way different under shitty iridescent lighting, like in the middle of the night. Also, my bedroom is orange, so that was casting a weird color cast on this when I swabbed it. Then I woke up in the morning and I was like, damn. And the sheen didn't really come out till it had dried overnight. So yeah, but so this leans more purple in shade. Like, it's similar maroonish shade, but it's more purple with a more greenish sheen. Versus Dark Energy is much more maroon, so it leans more red. And the sheen it's weird. The reason I bought a bottle of this is it's weird. Like, it's a green, it's like the sheen is a murky green. It's strange and odd, and when I wrote with it, I think Sandra had it inked up in Baltimore, I was like, that is so freaking weird. I need a bottle of it now. Even though I said I wasn't going to buy a bottle of ink in Baltimore because I only came with a carry-on. Worked out. Turned out all the ink I bought could fit in my baggie, and they were individually below the limits, so it was fine. But yeah. Yeah, Sweet Potato Purple. I'm excited to write with this one because the swab itself leaves the color it seems a little more uninspired, but like in the actual writing sample part of it, it looks a lot more interesting. And I found that happens with quite a lot of inks, which is why so I have a standard like cheap ass paintbrush that I use to swab everything, and I have a dip pen that I use to do all the writing samples with. And then on the back of the cards, where it's a good one, I write, when I ink a pen up, I'll write what it is on the back of the card, because different pens will write different, like the inks might look very different in different pens. So that way I have a representative sample of how they look inked up. And I don't like purple, like I'm not like gonna go through and do it with all the inks. Like I have over like 150 inks in cards, so. Hey, Mike. No, now you have to live stream and show us your plants. So put your stuff down and then show us the plants and also the bonus dog. Because I've been going for about an hour, so now we got to switch to your live stream. And we would not mind also watching you eat pizza, because I know it's pizza night. Oh, I do have the requisite beer. Oh, for later comers, this is Three Taverns Rapturous. It is a raspberry sour. Three Taverns is a local to me brewery, and it's like hyper local to me, as in like it's a 5-minute walk that away. Yeah, it's one of the 3 breweries I live within walking distance of. But yeah, they have some fruity sours. Oh, we love your... Wait, I'm very confused, Mike, because you have a Michael Madison and a Mike Madison that you're commenting as, and I'm assuming one's like your like teaching YouTube channel and one is your Ink YouTube channel. That's funny. I mean, I technically have two as well because I made a YouTube account before Google bought YouTube and like had everyone merge their Google accounts. So I had one, like my Bijou3L account, which is what I'm doing this from, because like I already had videos up and I'm like, this is just my YouTube presence. And like technically I have another one, but I don't actually use it. And like YouTube gave me the option to merge them, and I was like, you know what? I like having this separation of like my real name and like my internet name. So like if I do ever need like a more personal YouTube channel, like I'm putting up family videos or something, that can stay over there. And then my internet presence can stay over here. It works out. But no, okay, so maybe the plants are impressive, but we do want to see the other dog. This is important. But yeah, so that's the inks I got from Denise. And I almost feel bad. Like, I know she included the extra ones because she felt bad about it, like, taking a while. And I'm like, you know, I wasn't, like, that desperate. Like, I was, as long as I got here before Atlanta so I could do the Quasar comparison. But I'm like, I only traded her 3 inks, and she sent me, like, 8. I'm like, ugh. And she had earlier surprise sent me samples of Photon, Gluon, and String and Brain, which are season 3 Colorverse ones, which includes the 15 ml bottles. And I was like, whoa. But yeah, my antivirus keeps wanting to restart to update. But yeah, so yeah, so those are my things. But yeah, so I've got my kit's prepped as much as I can for PIF. I've got ink samples. I'm finishing a PIF hat. Oh, if anyone is coming to Atlanta and they want a hat or want to place an order for a hat, they're going to be going for $40, because they're entirely hand knit, and this is a original design. So you can also buy the pattern as well, but that's going to be digital. And yeah, so, and I'll have the yarn there. We'll get here by that time. So if you want to place in an order for like alternative colors, I will have like samples of the colors so you can mix and match and stuff. I won't have that many hats for sale. Like I said, all the PIF hats, half of the proceeds, half of it goes to me to compensate for materials and some time, but the other half goes directly to PIF. If you want like a Pen Addict hat, which that's what these are going towards, or like a BYOB hat, all that is just going to me. I have the blessing of my co-hosts and Brad for that. Also, if you want a Hates Ads hat, Mike has given me the blessing for that as well. So yeah. So yeah, we've been going for like an hour. So I'll go get Aqua again because she's being naughty. So Aqua likes to chew paper, and I have a bin of paper recycling that she has learned where it is. And it's a cardboard box full of paper, which seems like a dream opportunity for her. And she knows she's not supposed to be in there. And so she waits until I'm not paying attention to go over there. And then she like looks at me very triumphantly when I'm like, what are you doing? As with most pets. Okay, so I'm going to sign off, and then we can go all look at Mike's plants. Say bye-bye, Akiwa. Chirp bye-bye. You love being loud. Why are you not chirping? Of course she's not cooperating. She wants her box again. Say bye. Chirp. She's normally very loud. Okay, she's being uncooperative. Bye.